I think sometimes we overlook the importance of the human side of Jesus. It is in his humanity, after all, that he is able to sympathize with our human frailties. He's able to relate to us and us to him. Today's gospel from Mark shines a light on a Jesus who's just like us, so human. His body is tired and he needs rest. Life's become too hectic for him. I mean, who would not want to take some time off when you're constantly sought out by the needy crowds who seem to get more and more demanding by the day? Poor Jesus just needs a break. He needs to get away from all the stress of life and just relax. And so he and his apostles go off to a deserted place to rest. Don't we all feel that way sometimes? I know I do. Yes, I'm a priest, but I'm also human. Very human. Some days I just want to get away and really experience absolute peace and quiet, where there's nothing on the schedule to worry about. No emails that have to be answered immediately. No one demanding anything from me. No emergency calls. No meetings of any kind, nothing. It's why priests go on spiritual retreats every year. And so to see Jesus feeling the same way as we see in the gospel, it's rather comforting because we know that Jesus does indeed know what we are going through. He gets it. He gets us. He understands that we too can get exhausted and need rest. And that gives us hope. But there's something else. There's something else that we tend to overlook when we hear this particular story. There's more to the story than just seeing ourselves in the tired Jesus. It's the crowd. The crowd. It's all those people who are constantly following him from one place to another, even when Jesus is trying to get away from them. Are we that crowd? Are we the ones seeking guidance? Are we the ones in desperate need of someone to care for them and love them? When Jesus says, "For they were like sheep without a shepherd," he knew and recognized that these were people, his own sheep, who were a little lost. There must have been something missing in these people's lives, some sort of emptiness or need that was not getting met. Why would they even go out of their way to follow this man, Jesus, if their lives were not almost certainly filled with toil and hardship and uncertainty or a lack of hope? They're obviously looking for something or someone who could give them a kind of meaning or purpose to their lives. In some way, somehow, Jesus touched them in such a way that they did not want to let him out of their sights. We are those people, aren't we? We are. Each and every one of us wants to be fulfilled or be happy and experience inner peace. No person in their right mind wants to wake up every day filled with apathy or dread or total boredom, having no sense of joy and excitement that fills your days or your work or relationships. Sadly, those people do exist. But if you know someone like that, it is our duty as followers of Christ to help them and lift them up. One difference between us and the crowd in the gospel is that we live in a much different time or a much different world. Due to our advancement, we have a lot more opportunities, a lot more options, a lot more distractions, and we engage in a whole variety of activities day to day. What this means is we also have different voices speaking to us, a different million things and people pulling us in so many different directions. Yet we have the same basic need that the ancient people had, the need to fill an emptiness, a longing that can only be filled in one way: God. I don't have the divine power to tell you exactly what your life's purpose is, or exactly what path to choose that will ultimately be satisfying, rewarding, and life-giving. I can certainly be of guidance as a priest, and I can tell you this much. Everything starts with pursuing joy in Christ, and it's not optional. So we need to lighten up sometimes, not get so rigid. Start doing things that are rewarding, meaningful, and purposeful. Whether it's a job that taps into your God-given skills or talents and passions, or a healthy relationship built on respect and involves giving and receiving, or hobbies that are invigorating instead of mind-numbing, you can gain a sense of purpose. Each of our journeys is different, even though our destination is actually the same. But nothing will ever happen if we don't try, if we don't at least acknowledge our deepest longings and needs, our profound dependency on our God who loves us more than we'll ever know. We are and should be like the crowd in the story, doing our very best to not let Jesus out of our sight. There's no better place to be. So have a restful weekend, everyone. And remember, rest is essential to do God's work. But rest is not our purpose, but a means to help us accomplish our purpose.
Thank you for joining us for this celebration of the Mass. This virtual Mass is broadcast to hundreds of people every day of the week. Over 100 years ago, the very first celebrations of the Mass took place on the second floor of the Glenview Public House. It's been inconceivable that 100 years later, we would be reaching so many people all over the world through this technology. If you'd like to support the ongoing broadcasts of OLPH's Masses, please go to our website, go to Give Central, and you'd be able to support the ongoing outreach of this virtual ministry. Thank you for your support. Most of all, thank you for joining us in prayer. God bless you.